Hey, welcome back to this week's Payday Routine Budget with Me video. I am a registered dental hygienist. My name is Tina. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm single, child-free. I live alone, and I got paid a couple different sources this time. So I worked 3 shifts, and for those 3 shifts, I earned $1,207.60. I finally sold a portable washing machine that I had listed on Craigslist. I sold that for $120. However, I spent $20 of that money, so I had $100 left over from that. And then I also got a check for $17.50. That means the total that I have to budget this week is $1,235.10. I use YNAB, which is zero-based budgeting. If you're interested in signing up, I do have a link down in the description box. You can get a free month after you subscribe, and I like it. I'm thinking of kind of going to a different software though. Stay tuned if you want to see that. I may be changing over. YNAB is fairly expensive. I will say it's $109 a year. I believe it's $14.99 a month. And I heard that if you cancel your subscription, they will prorate everything back to you. So stay tuned if you want to see if I move to another software. But until then, let's go ahead and get into the zero-based budgeting. Pretty much like cash envelopes, I'm going to go ahead and give every dollar a job. Some things change, some things stay the same. One of those things that stays the same is that we're always going to have a discrepancy here in the ready to assign, and we're always going to have some overspending. I used to try to figure out where the ready to assign extra came from, but now I don't bother. Let's head to the overspending. That is the most important place to spend, because without covering the overspending, we're going to be in a pickle. So just because of the timing, the way that it works out, I haven't set aside the remaining $100 for my federal tax bill. I actually did go on and I saw the balance is $3K, which means that I have about 10 months left. So that's nice. Within 1 year, I will not have this $300 burden every month, which is a very exciting thing to look forward to. I'm going to go to the things that are like a little bit more simple to cover first, and then we'll go back and look at the other stuff. So obviously I spent $47.24 on a tank of gas, which is a pretty good price. Gas has gone down, and I think I had like a quarter tank. I think I spent like $70 once last month, which is insane. So my water delivery came out. I got a little bit of a discount on that. It was only $35, which is the cost of the water itself. I didn't have to pay any delivery fees. So I was 15 under there. Oops, I fucked up 73 cents. Let's see what that's from. Oh, so when I went on my cruise in Honduras, I walked to the supermarket and I didn't take a bag with me. All I had was my fanny pack. So when I bought my stuff, I didn't have a way to carry it home. So I had to buy a bag. The bag cost 73 cents. I calculated that as oops, I fucked up, because I had a bag in my room. Did I have a bag? Well, it doesn't matter if I had a bag or not. I should have thought about a bag before I left my house and took a bag, you know? That's the whole point. Groceries, pretty straightforward, $62.80 on groceries. And in the next video, we will go over our June budget and do a June recap. So that's where we'll get into how much I spent on groceries for the entire month. So you're like, wait, 2027 MSC World Atlantic Cruise. Didn't you just come from a World Atlantic Cruise? No, I came from a World America Cruise. I booked another cruise when I was on the ship, and I put down a $100 deposit. I get, I want to say $50 onboard credit. If I want to cancel the reservation or change it to another ship, another sailing date, I can do that, no problem. The ship, it's not built yet. It's going to be sailing its first voyage like a week or two before the one I booked. So it is fairly expensive. It's $3,289.50. This time it would be a balcony cabin. The outside cabin, it was nice. I mean, way better than an inside cabin, which is, if you've never been on an inside room in a ship, it's like a hotel room, but with no windows. An outside room is like a hotel room that you can't open the window. And a balcony is obviously self-explanatory. I think a balcony is kind of like, that's all, like, I can't do nothing less than a balcony. Like, I just wanted to open the window so many times and I just couldn't. So it would have been nice to just like chill out in my room and have the window open and the breeze coming through, but I couldn't. So I always had to like leave my room. And I'm an introvert. I like to be alone. So sometimes I just want to be in my damn room, but it was like, I can't do nothing but look, and I can't get out there. So anyway, $100 for that. I guess I need to set aside $205.06 to stay on track. You know, me and this travel child. System.io, that's my website. If you haven't been to my website, I have freebies on there. It's a $1,000 savings challenge that we are finishing up this month. And I'm on track to have saved $1,000, which I feel very happy about. Let me not hurt myself. But let me pat myself right on the back. Okay. Also, I have some budgeting tools. I have a ebook. I have a zero-based budget spreadsheet. And then if you like to do it old school, I also have things you can print out and do budgeting. Like if you like YNAB, but you're like, I'm not paying $14.99 a month. I'm not paying $109 a year. I have a wealth toolkit that kind of combines the best of both worlds, everything you need, and it's really affordable. As a matter of fact, I think it's still $17 as we speak. The price will be going up. So if you want to check that out, there is also a link in the description box to that. Now let's go and figure out what this is. Okay, So when I did my cruise, I had originally booked a hotel for $250 a night, which is absolutely insane. Don't know what I was thinking. I ended up spending, after going back on Priceline over and over and over again and rebooking, I ended up spending $168, I believe, and change on the hotel, which made it a lot easier for me to upgrade in other ways because I was like, hey, I just saved about $100 so I can kind of spend some of that money somewhere else because I thought it was going to be spent on the hotel. That being said, I spent $35 on checking a bag. I spent $15 on the transportation from the hotel to the cruise port. I spent $650 on my flight back to get a better seat. I think I was in row 19 and I just moved up to row 11. It cost $650. And then I spent $25 on a transport from the cruise ship to the airport. They were saying, okay, it's the World Cup. It's a lot of ships coming in. You're going to be waiting hours for an Uber or a Lyft. So I was like, you know what, whatever. I will just go ahead and get the transfer. So that's where all that money came from. That's a total of $81.50, which I think was well worth it. Going to our World America cruise right here. This is the gratuities. So when you go on a cruise, you don't tip during the cruise, but you do tip. I mean, you don't have to. I think you can remove the gratuities from your account. In my opinion, that's scumbag behavior because you're not able to tip every single person. Yes, you could tip your steward, which is like your housekeeping. You could tip your waiters in the main dining room or the buffet, but you're not able to tip the people who wash your sheets, who do all the stuff behind the scenes that you don't see. So I just let the automatic gratuity stay on there. That was $112. And I just totally forgot that that was going to be coming out. Or I guess I thought I paid for it with the fare, but I didn't. And that's something to think about as well for my Virgin Voyages cruise. I don't know if I paid for that one ahead of time. I think it used to be included and then they changed their fare and it's not included. So I don't know. That'll be another, something that I need to look at and plan for. Household goods will be easier to take care of than fun money. Oh, I bought this. I went to Aldi when I got home from the trip and then I bought this watermelon knife. Y'all see how big this knife is? It's for cutting a watermelon. If you ever cut a watermelon, you know that sometimes the knife is not long enough. And I find sometimes when you go to, this was $4.99, $5.44 with tax. I find that sometimes the stuff you find in Aldi is like so super helpful. And I stopped myself and only bought one thing. I felt like they had a whole bunch of stuff in that aisle that I could have bought, but I was like, this watermelon knife, literally, it's gonna come in so handy. Just like another thing I bought from Aldi, it's like a watermelon bowl. It's kind of like a big bowl that will basically hold in a whole watermelon, but then it has like a strainer inside of it. So that way you can put the watermelon in there and all the watermelon juice will fall, below and not be all soaked. I know I'm not explaining this well, but if you ever cut a watermelon or eaten a watermelon, you know what I'm talking about. So when I see stuff like this at Aldi, most of the time I will Google it and see if there's like another option that's actually cheaper or the same price, just available on like Amazon. I didn't search Amazon for a watermelon knife, and maybe if I had it, I would have found one that was $2.99. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get one thing from that aisle today and then I'm good. I also bought some Downy beads, the scent beads, and everything else has been covered and chatted about. So we'll cover the overspending there. All right, personal care. So when I was on the cruise, I forgot to take some stuff, but I did make a note. I started a note of things that I forgot for this cruise that I need to make sure that I take for next cruise. I spent $10 in Cozumel. And then when I went to that supermarket where I bought the bag, I spent $8.93. And then I told you last time about the nail polish remover pads and things like that. So that stuff we don't need to chat about. Well, I guess maybe I didn't talk. I think some of these I hadn't put in there. So yeah, I bought sunblock, body sunblock, didn't use a single drop of it, but it expires in 2029, I wanna say. And I've just started thinking about it. It just hit me right now. I can use that for my next MSC World Cruise, but not only that, for my cruise in February, I'll need sunblock. I mean, I hope. I only went to the pool. I didn't go to the pool at all. I went to the thermal area. And so I bought 3 swimsuits. I already had one, so I took 4 swimsuits. I used 1 swimsuit. So for my next cruise, next 2 cruises, hopefully, no more swimsuits, no more sunblock. Like, no. What is this? Oh, I bought some nail polish, some stuff, because I was gonna get a pedicure, but do y'all remember, I don't know how old you are, but do y'all remember when pedicures used to cost $20 and manicures used to cost $10 and you could get both for $30? Now you could barely even get one fucking fingernail painted for $30. Like, you definitely can't get a whole pedicure for $30. You probably couldn't even get one foot painted for $30. So I was like, instead of spending $80 on a pedicure, I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna buy some nail polish, and I'm gonna buy some top coat, a nail file, and I'm gonna do it in my hotel room. And that's exactly what I did. Not my hotel room, the cruise room. I think the first day that I got up that morning, I painted my toenails, I balled up some toilet paper, stuck them between my toes, and walked by the last to the buffet and ate breakfast. By the time breakfast was over, my feet were dry because I bought like a quick dry top coat, and that was it. So yeah, saved some money on that. And I bought some spray for my braids, which need to come out. and I bought some detergent so I can like wash my clothes. I have this thing called a scrubber. It looks like this. You put your clothes in it and you wash them, like agitate. You know, it's not the greatest, probably it's not like, well, not probably, it's not like a washing machine, but back in the day, what did they use? A piece of wood with a metal on it. So, you know, whatever. It makes it so I don't have to take as big of a bag. I already should have taken a bigger bag, and I think I'm going to get a bigger bag for the next cruise, but I was basically using my bag from when I was a flight attendant, which is technically a carry-on bag, but I checked it because I had liquids, but it was like bursting. And when I was walking in the hallway, I saw some of these bags these people had, and I was like, God damn, that's a big bag. Now, do I know how many people were in the room? Maybe it was one bag and they had 4 people. I don't know, but some of these bags were large. And if I just got like one bigger size of the bag, not a carry-on bag, it would be perfect. Anyway, powder detergent, powder deodorant. Venmo? Why was that Venmo? I don't know why my deodorant came from Venmo. That doesn't make any sense. I think that that's not correct. But anyway, from the 10th, we've already talked about that. So let's go ahead and cover that overspending, and then we'll go to fun money. I think for the entire month of June, I had my, why can't I think? Matcha. I had my matcha. So we're gonna see how much less I spent on matcha. If you wanna see that video and you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell below so that you don't miss that video. I think we're gonna see some pretty good improvements. I mean, I can already tell you right now just how much money is due on my credit card that we've definitely improved, but we'll break it down and get down to the nitty gritty. Let's see what all the spending was. Wow, $723.58. Damn, that's a lot of fun money. But $245 of that is the beverage package. So not like that's saying anything, but you know what I mean? And now that I'm noticing, I think that I need more than this for rent. So I think I'm fucked. But anyway, let's see. Oh, 2 sewing machines? What? So yesterday I made my first ever 2 Craigslist Facebook Marketplace purchases. And I bought myself not 1, but 2 sewing machines. One was $40, one was $20. They're both vintage. And I bought also today like a sewing machine cleaning kit. And I'm gonna have to really go in there with like alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and really clean out the old oil and re-oil it. They work now. One of them, the lady said it didn't work because the thread was nesting, but that was user error. She wasn't threading it right. That was the one that cost $20. But long story longer, I just need to tune them up before I actually start using them. So I will be doing that. But yeah, I spent $60 on 2 sewing machines. But like I mentioned, I got $120 for that washer. I also did a taste test for $50. So I made $170 yesterday, and then I spent $60. So I made $110 yesterday. So I'm happy. I broke down and got 1 day of the internet package on the cruise because I was using my international data, and look at this. Do you see how much international data I had left? I had 10 gigabytes to start. That's how much I had left. And I was only using that for 3 days. First day, Honduras. Okay, yes, I walked to the grocery store, used walking directions. I was sending videos on WhatsApp. You know, I was using it. And on the ship, using it. Like I was doing my budget with me and I was using my phone as a hotspot, whatever. Second day, we were in Costa Maya, used it again. Third day, we were in Cozumel. Maybe those days are flip-flopped. I don't really remember. The point is, in Cozumel, I got off the ship. I went to this bar and I bought 2 drinks, Heineken Zero, and I used their Wi-Fi. I think that's right here, 923. So I spent basically 923 on Wi-Fi. I used their Wi-Fi, and boy did I. I used the hell out of their Wi-Fi. But basically, I only used that Wi-Fi for basically 2.5 days, and that's how much I spent. So I used the hell out of that. And that's all included with my $25 total wireless plan. I don't know how much you're paying for your internet or your phone, or if you don't get international roaming, I would really check out Total Wireless, not sponsored, but hey, if you want to sponsor me, I'm your girl, because I've had Total Wireless since the colors was teal green, okay? I have been a loyal customer and I'm happy with Total Wireless. I mean, I didn't pay a single extra penny. And if I wasn't such a power user of the internet, I would have had plenty. But anyway, so this is a, what do you call it? Matcha latte. When I got back, I was like, I need a matcha latte. And I don't think I had milk. So I was like, let me just go get one. What is this? Oh, the first day or second day I was there, I got some gelato. I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise, but most things are included. Some things are not. They have a like gelato shop on board. It was 2 different flavors. I had coffee and caramel. It was so freaking good. Like amazing, truly delicious. And then in the airport, the morning that I flew home, I had a granola parfait. Wish I had more thumbs. I could give it more thumbs down. It was not great, but I only had fruit in the morning because I didn't want to get up super early and go to the buffet or whatever, or go to the main dining room or a dining room and eat breakfast. So I was like, whatever. Finally bought my graduation photo. Aren't I cute? 25% off because I waited the whole year. She said the photos are going away on the 30th of June. So if you want this photo, here's a code. That's the best code she'd offer. And I bought one photo. $33.75 for one photo. She took 2 photos, but the other photo was like me physically receiving my diploma. Well, you know, not the actual diploma, just the cover. And I was like, nah, I'm not paying another $33.75 for that. I just want the one of me. What else? I guess this is a matcha latte before I left. And then before I left, I also went to Green Mill, which is a restaurant. They gave me a free pizza for my birthday, deep dish pizza, but then somehow I also spent $14. I think that's because I got a salad. I could have just got the pizza. That was totally fair. You didn't have to do a purchase, but I got a side. I think this was actually the day that I left, now that I'm thinking about it. I got a side salad and I got an iced tea. So that's that on that. Cover that overspending. And then I believe, like I said, I did not put aside enough money for rent. So this video is about to wrap right on up. Look at that, they're both green. That's crazy. I do actually, before I go to monthly, I believe there's some extra money because remember I was saying my hotel was less. I think that there's extra money in the hotel. Let's see. Yeah, so there's $50 from the hotel. We're gonna move that to ready to assign. So let's go to our monthly and then wrap this on up. Oh, you only need $639.29. Okay, so I have $13 to work with. We love that. So we're definitely not where we need to be, but you know, until I start making more money, that's how this is gonna go. I got $3,000, $3,500 in my emergency fund. So should I need to pull from that, I will. So let's see what we need that we don't have money for just for fun, just as a cute little thought exercise. So health insurance, internet's a 6. However, like I mentioned, I got $50 from that taste test. I will put that rest of that money here. You know what I'll actually do? I'll just say it's $65. So I'll just take away 25 to ready to assign. So it only has $15 and then I'll put that gift card. I'll just go on there and pay it. I actually got a gift card for a taste test last month and I thought I was putting it towards my Excel bill. Could have been Centerpoint, but it was too late and they had already done the auto pay. So I basically just paid early for July. Same concept, right? If I put the $45 in June or July, the $45 went to my electric bill. That's the point. I'll put that $50 there. So that's spoken for. $38.81, where should I put that? Well, go back to monthly and put it in your, oh, I can hide this because remember I told you that the student loan is illegal, the plan, they're gonna give me a new plan, whatever info, that'll be in July. So this will come back before the month is up probably. We'll have a new date, we'll have a new payment amount, but until then, I'll hide that just to make my life easier. But I do need to put this $38.81 somewhere. Centerpoint's not due until the 8th, so I don't necessarily want to or feel like I need to put the rest of the money there. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just put it towards health insurance. Wow, didn't even type any numbers correctly. All right, so there we go. Once again, we are broke. YNAB broke. And that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you next time for the June budget review. Bye.